I was enjoying data analytics at the time. It was something I was enjoying it even
more than your course. I can't relate.
All the project I was working on was giving me so much joy. When I wake up and open my laptop, I see those things that I've done. I'm like, wow, I did this.
Wow.
I had the projects on my GitHub, but there was no proper documentation of those projects. I just had them. It wasn't properly documented, and these are some of the little things that people overlook that are really important, right? I would say more than 200. Yes, I applied to a lot of job openings. Easy apply on LinkedIn. I was there. Easy apply. I'll just go apply. But the problem I had at the time was that, so I say apply. There was no mentor for me, right? So there were some things that I was doing that I wasn't supposed to do.
Honestly, it has always blown my mind that a very high percentage of you who listen to the show haven't yet subscribed. So could I just ask you for a favor before we start? If you like the show and you like what we do at Tech Journey with DeDataDude and you want to support us, the free and simple way to do that is by hitting the subscribe button. My commitment to you is that if you do that, I will do everything in my power along with my team to make sure that the show gets better every single week. We will listen to your feedback and find a guest you want me to speak to and continue to do what we do. Thank you very much. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Tech Journey with DeDataDude. I am your host, DeDataDude, and today I am very happy to have you join us today. And if you are new here and this is the show that you are watching for the first time, this is where we uncover the real and unfiltered stories behind tech successes. Not just the highlighted, the reels, but the struggles and the doubts, and also the pivotal moment that transform ordinary journeys into the extraordinary ones. Today, I am incredibly happy to welcome Abimbola Arowolo, a remarkable woman in tech who has made a significant wave, in the data analytics space, from her role as community lead at Analytic Connect to being recognized as the #1 data science creator in Nigeria. Abimbola's journey is one that is filled with inspiration, transformation, and powerful lessons that all of us, will learn from. And what makes her journey and story particularly compelling is that you want to know, don't worry, just buckle up and stay tuned to the end of the journey. So, before we start, without wasting much of our time, please, everyone, welcome Abimbola to the show. Abimbola, please, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here today. So, let's go deeper into the journey. Before we go into your professional accomplishment, I would love to know about your childhood. Were there early signs that you will end in the data focus, career, or was your path completely unexpected?
Okay. For me, right, my childhood was something totally different from other people's childhood, because when I was growing up, I was this person that I had that passion for problem solving. I wanted to solve problems. I loved solving problems. And because of that, I remember at the time, my mom would tell me that medical doctor, you're going to be a medical doctor for this thing that you're doing, because of course, African parents, they want you to be a medical doctor, but they want you to be a nurse and all of that. So I was like, okay. And I was a science student, right? So my mom was like, it's very nice for you to be a medical doctor. And at the time, I was going to a pure science school, which at the time I was doing so well. Normal, every parent would actually want their child to go into the medical line and be that medical doctor. Well, for me, right, I finished, I wrote JAMB. When I finished, I wrote JAMB, and my first JAMB, I did so well. But then I didn't get any admission, right? There was no admission for me. I was at home for 1 year without anything. Then during the process, I was trying my best to see if I can actually do something to help myself. But then I really did not know about tech. So I can remember at the time I said with going for a computer training just to keep myself busy, right? And during the period, I finished the computer training, but it was just all about Corel Draw, nothing really about tech
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that time you just want to teach you how to use Microsoft Word, how to play games on the computer, right? So that was what I started with. And luckily for me, I wrote my second jam and I got admitted into the University of Jos. But then not into the medical
Medical.
faculty, right? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
so I was admitted into chemistry education faculty. So for me,
Okay.
I didn't want to take it at the time because that wasn't my professional life. That wasn't what I wanted to do. But I was
Yeah,
still.
okay.
My mom came because my mom is a teacher. She's a professional teacher. So she
Wow.
advised me that it doesn't really matter. That I can still solve problems by being a teacher.
A
I can
medical
help
doctor.
people. I can mentor people. I
Wow.
can train students actually do better. So I don't know. I thought of it and then I accepted the admission and then I got to school. And that was how my childhood went. I went to university, started chemistry education, and it was going well for me. At the time, I was enjoying it because it wasn't so tedious as it would have been for medicine, but then it was something that I really did not expect because people say education is not really that serious. But mine it wasn't really easy because combining chemistry and education wasn't really something that was so easy. But I still tried my best to actually keep up with that. Now coming down to how I started tech, right? So I was in school. I remember I finished my 100 level. I was doing well. My grades were so good. Coming down to 200 level, that was before the strike, before the as general ASU strike.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. I remember at the time I was conversing with my uncle. Shout out to him, Uncle David. Yeah, I was communicating with him, and then he was actually telling me about learning a tech skill. But then
Hmm.
I didn't really know what the whole
Tech
tech
is
stuff
about.
was because yeah, I
Hmm.
didn't really know. I was just trying to do something for myself aside the educational part, right?
Hmm.
So he advised that I think of something to do. So long after the conversation, I'd even forgotten that we had that conversation. I was just living my life, doing my thing. And at that time, I remember that most of the times when I get bored, I would go on YouTube to go and watch videos to see if I can see comedy videos or just a movie to keep me busy.
Yeah.
So one of these days I was on YouTube. I was trying to actually keep myself busy, right? And then I stumbled upon a video that showed somebody trying to work on a data set. It was on Microsoft Excel at that time, and
Okay.
I was interested because I was like, what are they trying to do? This is not what I came here for. I was like, let me watch it. Let me watch it. So
Okay.
I actually stayed through the video. I saw the video and I picked interest. I was like, okay, so from the video, it was like messy data was turned to a clean data. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then after the video, they gave some sort of explanations about data and then the data field in general. So I now flashed back. I remembered my uncle that, okay, we had a conversation about something like this
It's
coming
into
into the
this.
tech field. So I had to call him. I called him and then I told him that I just saw a video and I remember our conversation that I would really want to start learning something of that nature. So what he advised me at the time was that I don't need to rush to start taking any course yet. I should go back, do my research, be so sure that the field that I want to go into is in line with my interests, what interests me, right? So I was like, okay. So I went back. I did my research. I can remember at the time I was everywhere. We were trying to search, okay, what are the roles? If I'm this person that has this kind of
Yeah.
interest,
Okay.
what kind of tech skill is suitable for somebody like me, right? So I did all of that, and along the line, I finally decided to pick data analytics. Okay, now why I picked data analytics was because this person, like I said earlier, I loved problem solving. I love to impact people's life. I want to be this person that actually made you do something that you're doing presently that is helping you. So for that reason, I was like, okay, data analytics is all about helping businesses solve their problems. That was what caught my attention at the first. I was like, okay, this is for me. Let me go into this field and then
Problem
let's see
solving.
how it goes. So yeah, I picked that and I started.
Thank you so much for sharing that authentic beginning and the early journey of how you got into tech. There are 2 points that I can relate to. Number one is that you felt so happy that you didn't do medicine because of the tedious work, and chemistry education is quite easier for you, which I can
Exactly.
relate to that. When I was doing pedigree in Futa then, so young guy, young boy in science school, wanted to
Mhm.
become, medical engineer. You understand? So all my focus was I want to do mechanical engineering. All through, the on the pedigree program and my post 2 TME and everything, the cutoff mark that I was given, it doesn't even near medical engineering, you understand? So
Uh-huh.
it was about 56. And the course that I didn't want to do, RSG, remote sensing and GIS, was 56 or so. Both my charm and post 2 TME and my pedigree, the cutoff mark, all of them were 56. And the cutoff mark of the course I don't want to be 50, like, God, what is up? Are you telling me something?
It's
So along
happening.
the way, so my roomie then, so he was into the department mechanical engineering. He's very good, you understand? But I could see that, thank God that I didn't do this course, because I would see a lot of notes, printed copies, like this bulky, and they are reading. I'm like, why is life so hard for these people? They don't have a single life that they enjoy. And this is not practical.
Yeah.
I'm someone that I love practical things, to operate computer, to do something with my hand, not mean to be reading theories. You know,
Always.
that's made me to just like, oh, I don't, thank God I didn't do this course. I don't, till now, I still don't like mechanical engineering, because I love to work with computers and everything. And now people are now diving into the tech world, like the use of computer. Even if you want to be a mechanical engineer now, for your own benefit, you need to have a coding knowledge. You understand?
Yeah.
Like even at
Exactly.
least Python or Java or something like that. But that's why I
Same
said
now.
like the story is relatable. So thank you for that. In one of your posts, you mentioned there were days when I cried, days when I felt like giving up. Can you bring us to one of those low moments? What specifically happened? How did you feel?
Like I said earlier, it was tough. I wouldn't lie, it was really tough because when I started, I was a student, a 200 level student at the time, doing something totally different from my course study. Right. So
Hmm.
I had to really juggle trying to learn the skills, trying to learn my coursework, trying to do my assignments, my projects and other things, right? And it wasn't easy for me because I was just that little girl at the time, trying to do so many things,
Yeah.
right? So from what you saw, it was true. I wanted to give up. At a point, I was like, can I do this thing? Should I just keep tech aside for now
Sit.
and wait till I finish before I come back and pick tech up? But then I can remember that time, even my parents and even my friends in school, they'll be like, Vicky, you're doing too much. Oh. Don't you focus on school first so that you get the good grades. Then after school, you now start your tech journey. Well, I told myself that do I really want to leave this thing? Because I was enjoying data analytics at the time. It
Hmm.
was something I was
Hmm.
enjoying it even, I would
More
say,
than your
even more than
course.
what I was doing.
I
Because I
can
was enjoying
relate.
data analytics. All the project I was working on was giving me so much joy. When I wake up
The
and open my
vibes and
laptop, I see
everything.
those things that I've done. I'm like, wow, I did
Wow.
this. So I was like, if I leave this thing now, I don't want to leave it because I felt like, what if I leave it for years and then I come back and forget some of the things, knowledge that I've actually acquired, right? So I was like, no, I'm not going to leave this thing. But what I'm going to do is that I'll try to balance everything of tech to my studies, right? And that was it for me. Of course, there were days when I actually wanted to think back and then say, no, I'm not doing this thing again. But one thing that actually pushed me more to continue when I was in my 300 level, approaching 400 level, I started my journey on LinkedIn.
Yeah, which is my next question to you, because you were thinking of giving up. So what kept, you going, and what did you see that be like, no, I'm not giving up. I will keep going. Tell me about it. Tell me about that core, that something that this is not something that you have shared before on social media. Something that, okay, it's within you, like
Okay.
only you know about it.
All right. Okay, so that thing for me, right, is was when I as a student then, right, I started job hunting in my 300 level because I actually learned the skills for more than a year. I was still learning throughout that period, and I was telling myself that I'm a student, nobody would hire me, but let me just keep learning
Hmm.
and let's see how it goes. But I kept on. When I reached my 300 level, I was like, okay, I've built this project, I've done a lot, then I think I can use this skill to actually get a job. And I saw so many videos online, people being student but still working full
Okay.
remotely, right? So I was like, okay, let me start job hunting. So I started in my 300 level. Yeah. And I said job hunting, but it was hard because I didn't get any opportunity at all. Nothing for months. I was on LinkedIn throughout. I was not active on LinkedIn. I would just go on LinkedIn and then apply to several jobs, send my resume. Then I didn't even know what was cold email or cold message. I would just go there, apply randomly, and then I just made sure that I was applying to any job I see. So I was doing all of those and no opportunity. There was nothing coming forth for me, not even a gig. Right? Nothing. I was like, am I not good? What's
going on?
happening? So a lot. I've learned these skills for more than a year. Like, this is me. Why am I not getting this? I thought when I come in, I would learn these skills and then get this job, but it's not coming
Just get the
forth,
job.
right? So that was actually what pushed me. Of course, at the time, I had a mentor that I reached out to. So I told him that I was job hunting. I needed this job. So he advised that I had already worked on projects that I should try to be visible, post my projects on socials. So I took that advice, and after taking the advice, I remember I was contemplating posting on either Twitter or LinkedIn. But then one mind just told me, just go on LinkedIn. That's where you actually job hunting. So just use the platform to actually sell yourself, just post about your project. Of course, the decision was tough for me because LinkedIn is that professional platform that I was so, at the time, I was like, this place, we don't even look at me, we don't even see my project if I post it. But I was like, okay, let's just give it a try. Let me post one of the projects that I've worked on. Because prior to that time, I'd worked on several projects, but everything was just on my laptop. I didn't share anything. Nobody knows what I've done. So just there, right? So that advice, I took it and then I shared my first project. When I shared that project, I was not expecting so much, but then I was expecting that at least I'll get feedbacks from people, I'll get the engagements, I'll get the likes and all of that. But to my surprise, there was nothing. Like, I didn't get anything. Like, and it really brought me down. I was like, no, people are not, people on this app are not nice at all. I think I'll need to think back and then go to another place and try another strategy that would help me get these opportunities, right? So I picked one of the projects that I'd worked on at the time, which is one of my bank statement analysis projects. I put that out. And to my greatest surprise, that project really went so far because people started reaching out to me. I had recruiters in my DMs. I had clients in my DMs asking if I was available for a job role and all of that. So it was something that really motivated me to keep going. Like, I was surprised because I expected that what happened previously should repeat itself again, right? That they would just see and no one to even give any feedback. But now, this time it was different. People actually, they loved the project. They gave me feedbacks, told me some things I didn't do really well. And I had people in my DM asking if I was available for a job. So that was something that really motivated me. I was like, okay, wow. So people even care about me. So they know that I am on this app, right? So it was a motivation for me. And I was like, okay, I'll continue. Like, I'll keep working on more projects. I'll keep posting my projects and I will not stop being visible.
Thank God for being God, and thank you for sharing this because this is what people need to know. How many jobs application like did you apply for before you got your first role or your first job?
I was like, it's a lot. Like I told you, I was job hunting for more than going to a year, right? I was just there, like searching, trying to go online, search for any job opening, and then apply. So it was a lot. I cannot even remember, like seriously. And I would get.
Can you give an
rejection
estimate?
mails.
Can you give like an estimate?
I would say more than 200. Yes, I applied to a lot of jobs. Easy apply on LinkedIn. I was there. Easy apply. I'll just go apply. But the problem I had at the time was that before I started applying, there was no mentor for me, right? So there were some things that I was doing that I wasn't supposed to do. Now at the time when I started applying for those jobs, I had the projects on my GitHub, but there was no proper documentation of those projects. I just had them. So of course, it was attached in my resume, right? But it wasn't properly documented. And these are some of the little things that people overlook that are really important, right? So that was what I actually had to change later on. And I think that really helps because once you have a project that's in your portfolio, you need to have a proper documentation explaining your processes, how you started the project and what you got from the project. That was what I had to change from the whole application process. But for me, it wasn't by applying. My first job came from a referral. Right? That was it.
This is very awesome because this is how it works. You understand? I do tell people that if you want to get something, especially in the tech space, your technical skill is not enough. Just like you said, but over the like a year that you applied for jobs, you have the technical skills, but still you were receiving know, like several know that maybe up to 200 or even more than 200. But the essence of mentorship changed everything. You understand? Because you met with someone that is ready to mentor you, to show you and tell you what to do and what not to do. This is very important for people hearing this. Please, if you are, in this roadmap, in this path, regardless if it's maybe machine learning, data science, AI, or even software engineering, web development, cybersecurity, anything that is related to tech, no matter your technical skill, no matter how good you are in coding, you need a mentor. Because based on Abimbola's story now, he got a mentor that was able to tell her, do this, do this, do this. And despite all the technical knowledge, you were able to secure your first role by referral. You can imagine. And the person told you to be more visible. And another thing that I love about your journey is that you started early. Just imagine you started 300 level, right?
Yeah, 200 level.
200 level. So now imagine you started early and you were able to face all the challenges early. And this is the mistake that people are making. They will wait till they finish their undergraduates, especially people in Nigeria. And after their undergraduate, they will now start looking for, okay, what can I do? Meanwhile, they can actually start early in school, and all the struggle that they will face, because no matter the path that you want to take, there are challenges. There will be moments of doubt. But just imagine that you started early in school, and all through your school journey, you were able to face it and conquer everything. Be sure that even before you finish your school, you are already you are ready for the market. Understand? That is the essence of starting early. You understand? Please, everyone listening to this, it is very important. Even if you cannot hear from me, listen to what Abimbola is saying. Please, it will be very useful for people that are still schooling, especially doing your undergrad. You don't need to be done with your degree before you start earning good money. Can you compare yourself with your mate that you did chemistry education together? Now, there is no way.
That's the point.
There is no way, because
That's what I actually wanted to talk about. I remember now, at the time now, a lot of my mates, they would come back to me and tell me that, Abimbola, wow, you're doing so well. If only we had known that time to actually do same thing that you are doing, at least the job hunting period would not be too much on us. Because many of them now, I'm not saying this to mock anyone, right? I'm just saying this to encourage people out there. I have the skill sets, and now jobs even come to me even without applying, right? So that's actually something that you want to look into. If you're a student, whether a career professional or you're somebody that you're doing a different job from that career that you have interest in, don't think that you want to wait for a particular time to start. I tell people, once the moment you think about it and you're sure you feel fulfilled that, okay, let me start this thing. Please don't wait any second longer. Start at that very moment and make sure to be consistent in whatever you're doing. That's actually what helps you grow. That brings me to your first post on LinkedIn. You see that you said that you were expecting something, I do tell people, no matter, anything that you want to do. So the first thing, or let me say the first time that you do, you don't expect anything good. But that is the fear that people are trying to, are facing. Okay, if I post it, people won't like it. But no, you need to kill that fear. Just have it in your mind that even if you post it, people won't like it, but still post it, because you need to start. The market is very super saturated already. So for you to enter and get recognized, you need to be very crazy. Market is not meant for market is not meant for people that'll be like, okay, should I do this? Should I not? Just do it. Just do it. Just do what you can do. Do your best. Trust me, one day the market will recognize, be like, that is this person. Who are you? Then if you not get to the point that you are now, that even without you applying for jobs are, getting to your DM. Thank you so much for, sharing that with us, Abimbola. Yeah, you mentioned about imposter syndrome in one of your content. When was this feeling strongest for you? What internal dialogue were you having with yourself during that time? Okay, so when I shared the second project, like I said earlier, I was already feeling so happy that this is the reason why I'm here, and I've already gotten what I wanted, right? Yeah. I already have gigs. I had recruiters in my DM, so I was already happy that what I want is already here for. So I had this. I now felt relaxed that what I want to do, so let me just chill and enjoy. But then I came back to my sense. I was like, this is just little from so many others that I can get from this platform, right? So why not continue and then keep posting my projects? And sincerely, when I started, I didn't have any plan of giving out value, teaching people, mentoring people. No, my plan was just to share my projects, show the world what I can. so that people can notice me and know that yes, I have the skill set, right? Just be visible. But at a point, I started sharing more of those projects. I was getting feedbacks of what I wanted, but then I now saw the need for sharing valuable tips because at the time, a lot of people wanted to come into the data analytics field. Of course, people are everywhere that want to learn this. So they want to learn data analytics, but they don't have that proper guidance. They don't know what it's all about. They don't even know how to start. So I thought of it and I was like, okay, let me start sharing my tips, little tips on how to get started, how to keep going in the field, how to do some certain things that would help you thrive in the data field. So that was it for me. I started sharing those tips and it started going well for me. But at the point I was like, can I do this? Can I keep doing this? Because having to actually think of something to share. Now, content creation is not easy. I wouldn't like to. Not stop of writing a content. You're
Are
right.
you telling me? I know.
You have to write. You have to. And that time, I really didn't know about AI. I'll think of my content myself, write it down, then put it up on my phone before I share. So it was hard for me. I was like, can I continue this thing? I remember at that time, one of my friends, she calls me LinkedIn baby, because I would put up my contents during the weekends. I have everything in my documents, in my notepad. Then every day I just pick one of them and then share, right? And at the time I didn't know I was building a brand. I didn't know. I was just like, people need these tips, people need this guidance, they need something to actually keep them going. So let me just keep sharing to help. That was it for me at that time. And I kept on doing that. But something happened. So the reason why I had imposter syndrome, I had issues with not being able to actually respond. There was no time for me to actually respond to people's engagement on my content, and it was something that I really did not see that is really necessary, right? So I felt like I really don't have this time. In my 400 level, I had a lot of things to do. My project, my course projects, my I had to finish up with the whole stuff, with the courses, numerous courses we had and all of that. So I was like, I don't think I can do this thing again. Let me just leave it for now and then focus on my studies, right? Let me just face it. And but I'm glad I didn't follow that, right? So a lot of things on my mind. I was like, let me just leave this. This tech thing is already there. It's already disturbing me too much. But I reached out to one of my sisters, and she told me that I've already started something, right? So I cannot get to a point and then just leave it at the middle. I need to keep going. No matter how hard it is, you need to keep trying your best to keep going forward, right? I picked that and then I was like, okay, what I'll do is that instead of trying to accept all the speaking engagement that I got at the time, I would limit it. I would only accept a few at that period because I knew I was busy with school. And saying that I would not post at all again, no. I said, okay, I'll post twice weekly or 3 times weekly, just so that I know that I'm still sharing that value to people and people still see my content. So I limited that everyday content sharing, and then I reduced it to just 3 times weekly.
Wow, that was super brave. Thank you for for not giving up. Just imagine that you gave up then. Like you cannot even know that how many lives are now depending on your content now. Just imagine that you give up then. That means thousands or multiple thousands of careers will be pending. Understand? Because even sometimes that's how people get their calling. If I mean by calling, it's not necessarily like you need to be a pastor or maybe a mom or something. God may call you to a certain field that, okay, this is your own calling and you need to deliver to my people. I really appreciate everything you are doing. Trust me, I really appreciate it. So every journey has their own turning point. But can you please share to the audience, when something happened that, when something happened and it clicked for you that changed everything, that changed your data career, maybe a gig that you got actually, okay, wow, okay, this is a turnaround for me. This is good.
Okay. I would say for me, it was when I got my first job. Yeah. Okay. Because it came so fast when I started putting out myself on
content.
LinkedIn. I didn't expect it to be so fast like that because I thought it was after my second project that was when people started So when I got that, okay, so this is like it was more like a push to me that everything is possible as long as you put your mind to it. If you're really ready for something, if you really want to do something, make sure to be consistent in doing that thing and don't just relax when it doesn't go well the way you really want it to go. No, I tell people as long as you have that idea and you want to do something and then it's not going the way you want it to go, that's a push. That's something to actually push you to do better, to get that result that you want, right? So when I got that job, I of course prior to that time I was volunteering for any role I see, any volunteer role I would apply, I would take it. because I
Just
needed the
busted my mind.
experience.
You just busted my mind with what you just said. You even volunteered for different roles. Wow.
Yeah.
Then why won't you be successful in your data career? Tell me. Seriously.
I volunteered for some, and when I got that one, it was like, okay, so now I'm making money from this skill I've been learning for years now. So
Hmm.
I was like, okay, wow, this is so nice. So it pushed me to really want to know more skills, learn more skills, right? Want to keep up with continuous learning, and also want to keep sharing those insights I share online, right? So that was actually.
Thank you. But do you remember a moment that you start feeling like, before you may be feeling like you were feeling like an outsider in the tech space, but do you remember that moment that you now feel like, okay, I actually belong there? Like, this is for, you know? Can you remember?
Okay. Um. Okay. Yes. For me, right. I would say that it was when, like I said earlier, I kept on. I was sharing tips on LinkedIn without even having an idea that I was building a brand. So it now got to a point whereby days where I'm not active, where I don't post, I get people in my DM saying, "Hi, Abimbola. I hope you're okay. Just checking up on
Okay.
you to know if
Wow.
you get that." I was like, wow. So people, they are watching. They know that I'm not there, and they can even come to my DM to ask me how I'm
If
faring,
you're
what the
okay.
problem is, why I'm not active today. I was like, wow.
Wow.
So that means a lot of people are watching. And again, there are times where people that don't even engage on my content at all, people that they don't even like my content, they come to my DM. These are top people in top places, like that I didn't even see coming to me at that time. They'll tell me, wow, I love what you're doing. Keep up, you're doing a good job. And I was like, okay, I belong. So that was another push for me. I was like, I don't think I want to stop this, because I'm
Stop
helping
this
people and
anymore.
people are seeing
Yeah.
it. They are coming to me. They're telling me thank you. Sometimes they will even post me and tell and just more like give me an appreciation message that
Yeah.
I really helped them to do something that they've been struggling to
Mhm.
do. So it was up for me. I was like, okay, since I'm helping a
Wow.
lot of people, I really need to continue doing this thing to help more people.
Wow. 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 Thank you. Thank you so much. And for people listening to this, please, even when you post, on LinkedIn or even on TikTok or IG or YouTube, people are actually watching what you are doing because experience what you just said, that people that that even like your maybe content or post, they will enter your DM or tell you that you're actually doing well, keep it up. People are actually watching, especially on social media. You don't know who is watching you because if I don't like your content, you won't know if I actually go to your content. You understand? If I
Exactly.
don't like, if I didn't make any comments, you won't know if I actually maybe engage with your content. People are actually watching you and keep doing what you are doing. Trust me, just keep doing it. One day you will see the result. No matter the project, just keep posting. Even if you didn't see a single like, just keep bombarding them because you want to enter a new market. The market is very few already, but you want to enter, so you need to do something extraordinary. Referrals will come. You get to have advocates, you get to have mentor, you get to have sponsors. These are the three key people that are actually needed in anyone's professional life. Thank you so much. And to wrap it up, I want to ask this question: are you living your tech dreams?
Oh yes, I am. Right. So my dream, right?
Tell me, this me.
My dream is actually the simple one, very simple. My dream is that
Okay.
I want to make tech education accessible to all, to everyone, especially to people in Africa.
Hmm.
Right now, you see that there are so many talented people out there. So many people who they need the right guidance. They need the opportunities to start. Many people think tech is for just a selected few, right? But me, I actually want to break that mindset. I want to show people that anyone can actually learn and succeed in tech as long as you're ready to put in the work. If you agree with me, and I believe that
Yeah, I
represent,
do. I do.
yeah,
I do. I do.
representation matters a
I
lot,
do.
right? I want
Yeah. Yeah.
more women to come into the tech field. If more women see people like us thriving, of course they will know that it's actually possible for them to also come into the tech field and thrive. So at the end of the day, my goal is just to
See,
help people
see.
break barriers and create opportunities that they really don't know exist before.
I love that. It's a beautiful thing that someone is living at, at dreams and trying to make tech education accessible to everyone, especially in Africa. Thank you so much. So to wrap it up, if you could write a letter to your younger self, not about technical skills, not about career advice, but about the emotional journey ahead, what would you want her to know?
Okay, now you're saying all about emotional.
Yeah.
Say that don't hold yourself back once you have something in mind that you want to do. Now, I see a lot of people having doubts in themselves. They feel like, can I do this thing? Am I really sure that I can do this thing? Of course, I had that doubt in me as well. If you've been following through from the beginning, when I started, I was thinking if I was doubting if I could combine both tech and school. But then I later had to kill that and I picked up myself and I started, right? So my advice would be that no matter the situation you find yourself, whatsoever you think that you want to, please try to do it strategically. Of course, the journey will be tough. It's going to be a very tough one, right? But then don't give up in the process. Be that person that would keep going regardless, no matter the roadblocks, no matter what setbacks you're having. You want to be that person that wants to keep striving to actually get to that point where you get your results. So that'll be my advice to everyone. I'm coming down to tech line because I want to advise my techies.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I would advise that I tell people this the very moment you decide to start taking a skill, this that should be the same moment you start putting yourself trying to share your journey with everyone, building public. It helps because you don't want to be that person that will learn these skills and you'd suffer to get an opportunity, right? So it's very important that you stay consistent and visible. Share your career journey, build in public, and then try to network. Make sure to build meaningful relationships. If you are into tech, I tell people it is very important for you to build meaningful relationship because most of these opportunities you're seeing out there comes from your network, right? Comes from people that you. So you want to make sure to actually connect with people, try to reach out to them. Most people just think it's all about putting out content. No, that's not it. Like you can post content from now. Everybody's journey is different. Yours might be different, right? You can post content from now to next day, and then you don't get any opportunity. So, but the one hack that truly works is building meaningful relationships. You want to make sure to not only put out content or build in public. Of course, you should do that, but then try to also build meaningful relationships around you so that you really don't know what can happen in the future, right? So that's one key advice that I would give anyone that is coming into the tech field. Then another very important thing I just remembered now is that you want to make sure to embrace rejection. For me, rejection was my was my best friend when I started. I would say because
Wow.
I got a lot. I got a lot of rejections, right? So don't the journey is not always smooth. If you get rejected, don't take it personally. Take it as a feedback and then improve. That's one key advice I would give anyone. Just try to improve yourself and then try to think of something that you can do to be unique, different from other people.
Amazing. Please, everyone, make rejection your best friend. I know why she's saying that, and I've experienced that. Like, you can't see anyone, thriving in this space and they've maybe encounter any rejection. No, you can't. You must have gotten a lot of rejections. Trust me. I was talking to one person. He told me that he has a list of. Just imagine someone that have no experience with Mercedes-Benz company, and that's one other company too. After that, it was still like he want to get another role, and he still applied for 260 jobs, and all of them were rejection before he secured one. That was in
Wow.
Germany, not even in Nigeria. So you can imagine that he's doing very well now. Deeper into AI, talking at different events, and but before he got there, he had his own rejections. Just imagine that, okay, now be like, I think this is not for me anymore, and he just leave the space for people that that have the gut and the boldness. Now he will be regretting. But just keep going. No matter the rejection, just have it in mind that for every rejection, you apply for 10 jobs. Then by that time, okay, you're actually ready for this thing because you shouldn't receive any no and you'll be feeling bad. No, just have it, okay, it's not for me. I need to do more. But once you would even know, you may even attend some interview that you may be thinking in your mind, okay, you killed this thing, you aced the interview, you did well, but at the end, they'll tell you they'll be sorry to say, okay, we are moving ahead with someone else. So you shouldn't see that, okay, maybe you want to be depressed or something. No, just like, okay, no, you guys don't know. Like, you guys, let them feel that, okay, they actually lost something tangible, then you have to do more. You are not for them, you understand? But you are feeling bad, okay, you see this. Though it may not be easy, trust me, but it's still something that we all can do. It's just about the mindset of how we are doing. That's why people need to be informed now. Listen to what we are saying. It's going to be like that. If you actually want to do it right, go through it. Start early. There's your own problem. There's your own challenges. Then by the time that you'll be ready, then like you'll be praising yourself that you started early because it pays a lot. Network like crazy because to me, networking is a skill. Yeah, it's a skill. Know how to engage it. And luckily now we are in the era of social media. You don't necessarily need to network. Like, you don't need to attend networking event physically. They are doing it socially now, like on Zoom, live network, with people on LinkedIn, just like, I did with you, each other face to face before, but I was able to network with you via LinkedIn. That is what people can actually do. Network, know people, be polite and be professional if you want to network with people and let them see what you are doing. Let them feel, okay, you have something, you have passion about this and this is what you are doing and this is what you have achieved. I do tell people that we are marketers because we are marketing our skills. We are selling our values to them. So create a problem for them. Let them realize, okay, they actually have a problem. Because most companies don't know that they have a problem, but let them know that, yeah, they have a problem. And if they have this data, you can help them solve the problem. Trust me, because you are the one that, think about the solution and the problem. They will give you the opportunity. Okay, please come and do it for us. And that way you are getting real work experience, because that's another thing that do delay people, doesn't work that way. Follow the due process. You can do it.
And this would also bring me to adding that it is very important to get a mentor at the beginning of your career. Don't just come into a totally different field without having somebody to help you. You need a mentor. Don't just come and start without having somebody to guide you through the process. Try to get a mentor. It will save you the stress and the timing that you put into doing so many things that might not even really matter. So get a mentor, and then from there you would move up and be that person that you actually wish to.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your tenacity, for your willingness to share not just your successes, but the real, and painful journey that got you there. And your story reminds us that behind every success is a woman, a woman being that man or woman who faced moments of doubt and overcame a lot of obstacles and chose to keep going despite the challenges. And that's kind of inspiration that can truly change a lot of lives. And for our listeners, Abimbola, where can they connect with you and where can they follow your journey?
Okay, so first off, I'm very active on LinkedIn. My name is Abimbola Arowolo. You can find me there. On YouTube, I'm a new YouTuber. My name is Abimbola Arowolo as well. My handle is techie_Vikiola. You can find me on Twitter, techie_Vikiola, and Instagram as well. Same techie_Vikiola. Yeah, so that's where you can find me.
So thank you so much. Do yourself a good thing by connecting with them across all the social platforms. Please, you can never go wrong by connecting with her. I can guarantee you that. And before we wrap up, I would love to know what resonated most, with you from today's conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comment below and let's keep this important dialogue going. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss our upcoming episode featuring more incredible tech journeys. And this is DeDataDude, your host, and our guest for today is Abimbola Arowolo, reminding you that your tech journey matters a lot and is very unique. Your struggles are valid, and with persistence, your dreams are very achievable. Until the next time, keep coding, keep learning, keep building, keep living, and keep believing in yourself. Peace out.